This is Carl Polachuk, and you're listening to the SMB Community Podcast, produced by and for the Small Biz Thoughts community. We are dedicated to making every IT professional a successful IT professional. Hi, this is Carl. Welcome to another SMB Community Podcast brought to you by the Small Biz Thoughts technology community. I am joined today by two gentlemen from way on the other side of the continent and up north just a bit, Nicholas Ford and Jacob Wellman from SureWeb. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for having us, Carl.
So Nick is the account executive for Partner Network at SureWeb, and Jacob is an associate partner, right? Associate account executive?
That's right.
Something like that.
The titles change quite often, but something like that.
Well, you guys are pretty good friends, so I don't think you haven't demonstrated that you have this real hierarchy of who's the boss.
Well, I mean, he does wash my car time to time.
And
right?
I do pick up his dry cleaning twice a week. So.
Oh, okay, all right.
That usually helps dictate who's doing what.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I just saw you guys. So what's the weather like? Because when I was up there, it was a week ago, and it was very nice and bright and beautiful and sunny and 20 degrees colder than here.
Yeah, you took the nice weather with you. So far it's been lots of rain, and we're seeing the typical, fall weather. But that's all right. We keep our spirits bright inside. We just avoid
Celsius, I think it was literally 16 when I got on the airplane and 25 when I landed in Sacramento. So
oof.
Yeah. It's not bad here at all. So
right.
Anyway.
I think it was 4 Celsius, which is, I don't even know what that would be Fahrenheit. I can't do math very quick. So, but it's about 4
and that's about 37, 38 degrees.
Was it? Okay. Yeah. So it's starting to get chilly.
Yeah. When it starts to get close to freezing, that's what we call chilly. So anyway, so we were having a conversation in Montreal, and I thought it was hilarious. So I'm going to post the picture. But why don't you guys start first by telling about what exactly you do at SureWeb and how you work together.
Sure. So you want to start?
Sure. So Nick and I basically, we manage the partner network essentially. So anyone who's an MSP partner with us, looking to either resell cloud or refer business our way, we typically help these people out, not just delivering the services to them, but also from, say, a marketing standpoint, a sales standpoint, or even providing them a technical resource in order to help them scale and sell cloud more efficiently, and also to help them just grow their business in general.
Right. So, Jake and I both have a similar upbringing within SureWeb, where we started off in more of a technical support role and then slowly shifted into sales. I started a bit earlier than Jacob. And when he came on board into our sales team, we had we wanted to take a different approach in terms of onboarding a new rep. Anybody in this industry, so likely people listening here, know that there are just so many offerings out there, and whether it's cloud or anything else really IT related, it's hard to wrap your head around that. Absolutely everything that's available. And we do offer quite a few services and from a product perspective and really just a service delivery perspective. So we had a challenge with taking somebody who's new, bringing them up to speed within a short period of time, and then saying, okay, great, go work with partners and try to win some business. So we started a mentor program shortly after Jacob came on board into the sales team, where Jacob had to work with me. He didn't have a choice.
I was forced on it.
He was forced on it.
It was either that or out the door.
Yeah, so. One or the other, right? So he picked me. It's cold out there without a job. Right. But we started working together on accounts, and it started off with this idea where he would be a inside sales rep, and I saw that as a great opportunity to get stuff off my plate I didn't want to do. But all seriousness, it was really to try to teach him the day-to-day. Work with partners who I've worked with for several years, some that are more mature than others, some of them, see the new sales side, see the long-term effects of a partnership with us, while also not necessarily being as big of a risk by doing it by himself. So we started with that process, I'd say about a year and some odd ago.
Yeah.
And then slowly have been working on it and changing it. And the challenge a lot of the time that we see with sales reps and anybody in the company is often motivation. But I have never worked with somebody who self-motivates. And the picture that you're going to see is why Jacob got his nickname as Jacob Juicebox Wellman. So I took a piece of advice from Catherine, who's a was a sales manager here at SureWeb. Now she's working on strategic accounts. Where when she was my boss, used to always bring in snacks. And I decided I'd like to do that, with Jake. And now with the rest of the team, we have more that have onboarded to our team. And so I'd bring in juice boxes, or I'd bring in this or that. And then Jacob decided to take it upon himself to make that an incentive, where if he does something good, he gets a juice box. And if he doesn't, he loses the straw.
That's right. And you're missing a part there too. If I do well, yes, I do get a juice box. If I do really well, I get the straw with it. So then it's easier to drink.
Right. So we started off with that, and it worked quite well. And all of a sudden, Jacob likes to play a bit of poker. He likes cards. And he was playing with poker chips one day and decided to create this incentive program with poker chips. So now if he does something well, he gets a poker chip, which he can trade in to get a juice box or
any other snack.
Any other snack that's there. And
do you have to buy the straw separately, or do you get the juice box with the straw?
Depends on the coin. If it's green, it's separate. If it's blue, they're worth more. But yeah, so he put that in place, and it was fun and games at first, but now I think we've moved a bit past the juice box incentives, and now he's on to spray. I think is what's
that's a pick me up for me usually. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I'm usually ready to go. So no caffeine needed for me, Red Bull, anything like that. I already have my own pair of wings. So definitely don't need that, but yeah.
Anybody who's met, and Carl, I think you'd agree, anybody who's met Jacob or known Jacob would be very surprised by that statement of no caffeine.
Right. Caffeine would be dangerous.
Absolutely. But what was fun about it was, as much as, it's funny to joke about the juice boxes and the snacks and everything. And I still have them on my desk, and everybody that works within our group, which we came up with as a unit. And if you'd like, I can explain more afterwards. But outside of, having this kind of incentive program with Jake, it actually did bring a lot of energy and excitement and positive attitude towards the rest of the team. We make jokes, Jacob Juicebox Wellman and stuff like that, but it really does bring a smile to everybody's face, just seeing just a really positive change coming to what can be, quite a difficult and at times stressful job. So, everybody likes to joke around on the floor and trying to do something different and fun and cut through the stress really does make quite a difference with really everybody around us.
Right.
And who wouldn't want your own 7-Eleven right on your desk? You know what I mean? So.
Well, I know you've heard the saying that, culture eats strategy for breakfast, right? But I think, what I love about the story, and just when we were talking at first, is obviously you guys work well together. And that, maybe that comes from being friends before, you started working together. But it's also a matter of sometimes, when you're around friends, you don't work well together at all. It's a disaster. So true. The culture clearly is a piece of that, right? And then spreading that to the whole team. One of my big favorite sayings is nothing happens by itself, right? So, it's an important piece of the culture, but clearly it's something where you have the leeway to do those kinds of things, and nobody says, quit horsing around, get back to work, right?
Oh, that's very true. I mean, SureWebs, we're lucky. This company's always been a out of the box thinking company and definitely focused on our people. Definitely recently with some of the changes that we've had has given us the opportunity to really hit the ground running. Working with Jacob and creating, different sales units and different ideas, and has fostered a lot of creativity. I've been trying to push as much as I possibly can to figure out where the limit is, without, with being realistic. Right. I haven't found it yet, which is really great. So we're coming out with a lot of cool ideas, and it makes it a lot more fun. getting told no a lot in sales can get, I think everybody knows, can weigh
I
heavy.
think that's why most MSPs hate sales,
Right.
right? Like,
Right.
I don't want to get told no all the time. If I wanted that, I'd get on a dating app, right? So I should note for the record that this is not a paid podcast and there's no sponsorship or any of that. So I just happened to be at the SureWeb conference. And so, you know, the fact that we're talking within SureWeb is really about just giving people a glimpse into a culture, at least of one little department.
Right.
So how many people are in your office, like that are involved in the mini culture that we're talking about? 8,
So,
10, 50, 100?
well, I mean, I guess it's kind of a hard question to answer in the sense that there's a lot of mini cultures getting created, right? I mean, this idea that we've been fostering, and you know, I'm trying to encourage others to do it as well too, and even, you know, whether it's partners or clients or friends, family, you know, to get them to do that, but you know, to try to keep it just outside of SureWeb. But within us, I mean, the group that I've been able, you know, have a pleasure of working with, we're 5.
Yep.
You know, our marketing team has started to create their own. I know there's a few other units in the sales team that are opening it up. I mean, as a whole, as a company, you know, we're much larger than that. We're about almost 1,000 employees now, but we're kind of creating smaller units to try to work together better. So my particular case, or Jacob and I's case, is with 5 folks. You know, that
It
ranges.
can expand.
It can
as well.
expand, absolutely. I mean, anybody looking for a job who's excited, you know, send me your CV. But I can't hire. I'm lying. I can't do that. But if you know, when I looked at who we wanted to bring in from a culture perspective, and actually having lunch with one of the gentlemen, Luke, who's on our team, we went out for lunch. He's celebrating his 2 years with us. He did mention that, you know, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And it's funny that he said 5 because we're 5 in the group, but really what we're looking for, and this happens in the interview process, and it happened in the process when I was sitting down thinking, who would we want to work with? It has to be people who want to do better. It has to be people who are willing to, they're happier when they make you, they're happier when they make other people succeed and when they make other people happy, right? Versus trying to just beat everybody else. Now, yes, we want to win. Yes, we want to do business, of course. There's a lot of business out there, but we want to make sure that we're really tied into the right people. And I think that, you know, if you want to have a culture, a creative culture that is moving forward in the right direction, regardless of what industry you're in, regardless of your company size, you have to have a positive mindset on it. You know, you can look at something 15 different ways, but if you look at it positively, you're going to be able to, you know, achieve what you need to achieve.
So how long ago was the Juicebox incident?
This was probably, I'd say, what, 5 months ago?
I think so.
Or so. And I mean, it's still going on. Like, you bought me juice boxes the other day,
Yep.
and gosh, there was 8 of them, and now there's none. So I mean,
had 4 for breakfast. So that started a few months ago, and then so working with Jake, we've been doing that for several months, and then we had a meeting in New York. It was supposed to be 4 of us. 3 of us ended up going. Milos, you met him as well. Anybody who knows SureWeb likely knows Milos. He's been here forever, and we just posted a video with him on our LinkedIn if you want to go check him out. But we drove down to New York, and what are we going to do with the 7-hour drive? But, you know, talk a bunch of stupid stuff between guys and also ideas in business. So that fostered a big idea of, hey, we're going through a lot of changes in the company. How do we want it to work? We talk the talk. We say we think that things would work better if we do it this way or that way. Let's try it out. So over the course of those few days, after a few drinks and client visits, and, you know, driving back and forth,
heartbreaks,
and
everything in between,
living the city life. You know, we were able to come up with that idea, and then everybody just been piling on ever since, and bringing a lot of great ideas to the table.
So in the last 5 months, have you added anybody to your team?
Yes.
So how does the culture fit into the interview process, right? Is it a big piece of what you look for when you interview?
It's probably, I mean, you know, skills are very important in the sense of, you know, having a technical knowledge or having experience in sales, but personally, my number one is mindset. And this goes back to, about 2 years ago, I was having a real rut in terms of, working in sales and keep pushing forward. I felt like I kind of just hit a peak, and was getting really bogged down by a lot of negativity. I started working with a business mentor of mine. He's actually my godfather. He's in a completely other industry than IT, but he showed me a few books, and he started talking to me about mindset and turning it around. And it changed everything. And it changed everything, not from just a professional standpoint, but a personal standpoint. Putting goals, following those, achieving them, being hungry, just changing how you think about stuff. So for me, it's definitely the most important factor. I think if you have the passion and the true drive to do something, what we're trying to do is help people. That's the number one thing in sales, as far as I'm concerned, is helping people. And if you have a true drive to help somebody, you'll find a way to achieve it. So it absolutely is the number one process. It's why we picked those that we did to come join our team. And we're lucky enough to have a great sales team here where we can choose a lot more that are like that. And everybody on the floor definitely brings a fantastic mindset. But in short, to answer your question, it's the most important part of an interview process.
Cool. Well, that's always good to hear. So are there people who either on your team or on other teams who sort of, look down their nose and say, you shouldn't be horsing around it on work. You're getting paid to be here, right?
We talk a lot about it internally. We must say, gosh, people must hate us some days, because sometimes we just get jittery, we get up and down, we're laughing, we're giving high fives, we're being loud. I imagine it must, bother people at times. And it's true, we do have to be aware of our colleagues at times because we don't want to affect their workflow. Mm-hmm. So we just tend to keep it in a positive way, mostly amongst ourselves. For the most part, though, I think we're okay with everyone. We've never really had a large issue or even an issue, really.
Ask HR that question. I think they'd have a better answer. Well, what's nice is that a lot of the people that are with us, we've known for a while, or if they're new, they're hungry. And what we're trying to help bring to the table is, if you work hard and have a fun time at work, the results will follow through. Who wouldn't want to see that? Who doesn't want to have fun at work?
Right. So do you think that you can draw a line and say that when people are happy and enjoy working together, that they're more productive, sell more or whatever?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd put my reputation on that.
So just to give you an example, okay, so Milos and I, a lot of the times what we'll do is we'll book ourselves for call blocks, we like to call them. So say for 3 hours, we're calling leads all day long. And for that 3 hours, obviously. And so, so we motivate each other back and forth, and we let each other know, okay, I have a good one here. What are the next steps? Or we even say, you know what, this one looks really great. Why don't we tackle it together? So we work together as a team, more or less, to accomplish it. And then, we give each other a pat on the back and help each other as much as we can with it, give insights and go from there. We have a great time with it and we have a lot of fun. And that's the reason why I look forward to coming to work so much. And I don't consider it like work. It's more like fun.
Well, it's work dealing with Jacob, but dealing with everything else. But if you look at any of the big names in business, they're always going to say mindset. And for a lot of people I'd say the tipping the nose aspect is more towards this fog around self-help, right? When somebody, for whatever reason, and I'm not sure if this is just what we see over in our neck of the woods, but a lot of the time when we talk about self-help and bettering yourself and improving yourself, when you go to the gym, it's fine, but when you do it with your head, people have this vision of, that's useless, that's not correct, that's bogus. If it really were that, everybody would be doing it, but the people that are succeeding are doing it.
Well, we don't go to the gym, but.
Yeah. Don't mislead people.
Well, you said there was no video here. They can't see.
They don't know our physique.
But yeah, no, it definitely it correlates. At least in our world, it does. I can't speak for other people. I would assume it does. I guess I shouldn't say it does for everybody, but as far as I'm concerned, I would say it does for us.
Very cool. So within the group, how many people, in that group would you say are like high, medium, or low with regard to enjoying the horsing around and, you know, the kind of the playful side of working there?
So definitely Milos and myself are definitely top of the horsing around and having a good time. Nick is more in the middle, but sometimes he tilts on the line of middle and having fun. Luke is fairly in the middle, sometimes in a lower scale, and Stephanie, for the most part, is, you know, she's the responsible one of the group.
She's got the bail money, right?
Yeah, she's getting
to get out of jail free card. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, everybody likes to have fun and stuff like that, but you do need a balance. I mean, you know, we all have a positive mindset and a mindset of growth and creativity. I mean, you know, Steph's coming in. She's got the most experience at SureWeb specifically, but she's coming in where we need somebody who's going to make sure that we are kept in line for a good amount, right?
Yeah.
Luke is the brains. So he's the creative aspect, looking at whether it's, you know, processes, looking at, you know, how we're interacting with particular customers, how we really maintain and manage our efficiency. You know, I'm trying to be more strategic and customer facing. And then Milos and Jake, I mean, if I can get Milos and Jacob into a room at the beginning of the day, get them incredibly excited and hyped and pumped up. I mean, I've seen these guys pull 50, 60 calls a day, where they actually land, you know, 30, 40 conversations, which is a lot. They're sweating at the end, but we have follow-ups, we have tasks, we've checked in on people, you know, things are going well. So the way that I see it are the ones that really do the most actions, the most activities, especially customer facing. And what I mean by that is just picking up the phone and dialing. Those are usually the ones that, you know, get the rowdiest.
And just to play on that a little bit more as well. So you're right. So yeah, so we do get results. We do put in the work, which is great. But now Luke, who's our creative mindset, as Nick just mentioned, he's really teaching us how to work smarter, how to be more effective with the time we have. So then over the long term, we're going to grow, you know, more organically with our MSP partners, right? And they'll be a little bit more less dependent on us, I guess, to call us every time they have a project on mind. They could kind of get it done themselves.
Well, like they're efficient. We're efficient. There's no, I mean, I don't see what's bad about that, right? So it's absolutely correct. Yeah.
And is there ever like a problem trying to get people to be serious when you need them to be serious, right? That you say, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, Friday afternoon, if we went out to lunch and had a beer or two, maybe. But I mean, for the most part, we all need to get things done. I think, you know, what we may get a little bit too excited over some opportunities from time to time, but you know, when we sit down and get things done, we get them done. I think where we found the balance is we have the you know, Jacob and Milos's role where, you know, I see that as kind of, you know, the grunts, right? We're going out, we're calling, we're always going to answer the phone. We're here to make phone calls.
Front line.
Right. And then with Steph and Luke on that side, it's organization and structure. I think that if it was just one or the other, either, you know, with just the grunt chaos, it would be chaos. It would be chaos. You couldn't take care of it. If it was just structure, well, we wouldn't have enough people to call out, right? So we have to have a balance. I think with that, it hasn't gotten carried away yet. You know, we'll see what happens.
Well, here's the thing too, though. It's, you know, when you just have Milos and myself around, there's nobody else around. There's no responsible one between us two. So we don't quite know what's going to happen. So I can't think of me for the life of me why they decide to send us two on road shows together alone. They do. It's great. I won't say no, but yeah, it can get out of hand pretty quickly.
Very cool. Let me take a second, and I'm assuming you're both on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Can you give me your names on LinkedIn so people can find you, and we'll put it in the show notes?
Great. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, do you want it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nicholas Ford and Jacob Wellman, but I'll go ahead and send those over to you afterwards.
Very cool. So Nicholas Ford and Jacob Wellman. All right.
That's
and
right.
So, and I'm assuming you don't mind connecting with people since my audience is mostly managed service providers.
Please. No, absolutely. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, this is definitely a fun activity to kind of do. It's not every day we get to be, you know, with Carl, you know, famous.
Carl, we had such a good time with you in Montreal.
That was awesome.
We've heard your webinars before, and I've read some of your books, but to actually meet you, no, we had a great time.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So, well, it is always fun. And, you know, I think as you build a team, it's important that people mix up the fun and the work, right? I mean, I've been doing it for, more than 20 years in my businesses. And I just think that, the reason I wanted to have you on and tell the story is because people need to understand that, too much of our business is filled with stress. You mentioned how sometimes it can be stressful, but one way to deal with the stress is to know that you as a team have fun together as well as work together. And so it's not, 10 hours head down, just, working your tail off and getting no breaks.
That's right.
Right. I think an important piece of that, and I'm really curious too to get your take on, on all of this, and if you've seen similar setups before. But a side note here is we try to also do activities together outside of work. I think that, because if we're too, we're kind of sounding like we just party all the time. It's not the case, but you got to be fine line between being too rowdy and being too serious. But we do find time to blow off steam together. Just before we had the Accelerate event, we went up to Luke. He has a homestead, a small, farm. And we had, had a couple drinks and made a, potluck and stuff like that. And we're going to have more coming up. We'll do dinners or what have you. So, to make sure that there's fun in the office, but, if we want to get out the most fun, we do that outside of the office.
That's right.
Make sure that we keep the professional and the fun.
Right. Well, that's where you get to know each other as human beings. Right. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that. One of my companies, we used to always brew beer once a year.
Oh,
right. So, you spend like an entire afternoon, everybody, sits down, has lunch, you mix up the beer, you have some more lunch. Right.
Oh,
and then you come back, 6 weeks later, and you got to do the same thing again and bottle it. Right. Mm-hmm. And then you divvy it up among everybody who was there on bottling day. So that's a thing that everybody goes through together, but it's gives you hours outside the office to get to know each other and do stuff. And even now, I try to have these lunches from time to time. We're sort of starting a new thing here that I bring in everybody who works here, but also try to get my subcontractors who are around town that basically, some of the people here have never met the web developers, right? So it's like, let's all go to lunch. And that way, once you sit down with somebody and talk to them and you put a name and a face together, then when you got a problem, it becomes a little easier to get through the tough times because you do have a relationship in the so-called real world.
Right.
So, and I have this whole philosophy called relax, focus, succeed. That's what's on the back wall of my office. So I have that.
That's really cool. Yeah, I like it.
It's important. I mean, we spend pretty much more time. I mean, I've spent more time with Jake now than I have with most of my family. So you definitely need to get to know the people that you're spending all this time with.
Right. So very cool. Anything else you guys want to add? Anything we didn't cover?
Well, I mean, as far as our team concerned, we do try to focus on this sort of community quite a bit, but I don't want to say that we're doing anything that the rest of, our company isn't, right? So, we got these ideas because we've had the pleasure of working with an organization that does bring everybody together, If you're thinking about ideas, we do once a month, it's an IT cafe where the owners buy beer for everybody. Right now we have a partnership with a brewing company across the street. They'll bring out food. Yeah, we go there enough. They'll bring out food. We'll have speeches where we'll say, new hires and talk to them. And this has been going on since we were, I think maybe a 40 user operation. So it's been going on for some time. Alongside that, each department will run their own gigs, or we'll give back to the community and for, fundraising activities and stuff like that. So, social committees, although a lot of partners I've spoken to in the past, they overlook it. It is an expense. It is a time suck. Yes, it's time away from your clients. But I would definitely recommend for anybody out there that's on the fence of it, just jump over and start doing stuff. Your employees are so important, and without the proper culture, you're gonna either hate your life coming into work every single day, or pass that stress along to your clients.
Right.
A motivated staff will definitely be a productive one if you put the proper procedures in place.
So Juicebox for everybody.
Juiceboxes for everybody. That's our motivation for the year. Very good. Well, thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate it. And, I love the message of, culture and motivation go hand in hand. And if it helps sales, that's all the better.
That's
Absolutely.
right. And just a little note out there, don't be afraid to just push the limits and try something new. Obviously, don't go crazy or overboard, but just see, who knows, because it might lead to more opportunities, opening more doors down the road and creating more relationships. So try it and have fun.
And read Carl's books.
That's the most important part.
Right. You can take out of anything here.
God, it took me half an hour to get you to say that.
I saw the red flashing light behind you.
Exactly. All righty. Thank you, gentlemen. And with luck, I will see you soon somewhere on the road.
I look forward to it.
Enjoy the California weather.
Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to the SMB Community Podcast. If you found this useful, interesting, or fun, please subscribe, share with your friends, and give us a thumbs up on your favorite social media. Please check out the show notes at smbcommunitypodcast.com and give us your feedback.